Things start off on a rather sombre note in Moonglow Bay. Regardless of which character and partner you choose, your loved one is lost in absentia following an accident at sea. To commemorate your beloved, you decide to set up shop in the titular village selling street food, something they'd always talked about doing. The bay was once a thriving fishing village, but tales of monsters at sea has stunted the economy, with no one willing to venture out on the open water. And so begins a cosy life sim about fishing, friendship and saving the environment. There are plenty of townsfolk in need of a fish supper, so it's your job to catch the fish and whip up some tasty dishes in your kitchen back home. And this is where the two main mechanics of the game come into play. Using your trusty rod, appropriate tackle and bait, you go a-fishing in all corners of the village, even out to sea in your trawler for more rare and dainty morsels. Fishing is quite simple. Cast out your line, wait for a bite, and then reel her in. A couple of good yanks will usually do the job. It's not the most complex system, but catching a juicy voxel fish is always satisfying. As you go about your days cooking and building your empire, you'll meet all the locals, complete quests, encounter boss fights, donate fish species to the local aquarium, and help restore the village to its former glory. You'll also come to terms with the loss of your partner. The voxel art style is charming and the accompanying music suitably relaxing. This is a game you will lose hours playing. I don't even eat fish, but I really do love Moonglow Bay. Check it out now on the PC.
Why not join us? And we can be one happy family. In a few moments, there will be no clan, and you can join your family of demons in hell!
Okinawa Rush is a fast-paced brawler that blends martial arts, gorgeous pixel art and linear platforming to create a real blast from the past. One of the things that sets the game apart from other 2D side-scrolling platformers on the market is its combat system. Street Fighter is a clear influence, with specific button sequences required to trigger special moves, some even bearing a passing resemblance to Ryu's Hadouken and Dragon Punch. You'll need to parry attacks, rebuff projectiles and dodge traps to make it to the end of a stage alive. Simple button mashing won't cut it, especially on the high Ninja Belt difficulties. I've played a lot of retro platformers this year and few managed to perfectly capture that old school feel. The developers have done a fantastic job of recreating the 16-bit experience with both the visuals and audio. There's authentic CRT scanlines, muffled voiceovers and sound effects. There's even intentional slowdown during attacks, similar to many of the classics on the SNES and Sega Genesis. There's 3 different playable characters, all with their own story, animated cutscenes and endings, as well as a stage ranking system to add replay value. And if you can beat the game on Black Belt difficulty, well, I tip my hat to you. Okinawa Rush is available now on the PC and Nintendo Switch, with PS4 and Xbox One ports coming very soon.
There are things in this universe that are beyond your comprehension.
Out in early access on the PC is the stunning first-person shooter Forgive Me Father. As someone who doesn't play the genre that often, the comic book art style caught my attention immediately. The game is in 3D, but characters and enemies are drawn in 2D and look like they've jumped straight off the comic book page, or from one of the shooting galleries you see at a fairground. Forgive Me Father features gameplay similar to classic shooters such as Doom and Quake, with similar level structure and pickups. The game features a world steeped in Lovecraftian mythology with eldritch horrors aplenty. And, rather fittingly, there's a sanity meter which directly influences the audio-visual experience. At the moment, the story is quite sparse, told through interacting with objects in the environment. I imagine this will get fleshed out considerably whilst in early access, with perhaps voice acting getting added at some point. The early access build of the game features 12 levels, several enemy types, a couple of bosses and a pretty extensive character upgrade system. The developers have already set out a roadmap for future updates, with more than double the content planned over the next few months. Forgive Me Father features super smooth, addictive gameplay with tight controls. If you fancy a retro first-person shooter with a difference, you need to give this one a try now. Check it out on the PC via the Steam store. In Happy Game, a young boy awakens in a nightmare world full of bizarre characters and twisted landscapes. Be prepared for an uncomfortable experience with disturbing puzzles, creepy songs, and very eerie sound effects. Nothing is as it seems in this game, especially those smiling, bouncing rabbits. Terror lurks around every corner. If you're a fan of Amanita Designs, the creators of Machinarium and Botanacula, or you just want a short puzzle game for some Halloween frights, then Happy Game is a must-buy. Pick it up now on the PC or the Nintendo Switch. Sunshine Manor is a prequel to the 2016 sleeper hit Camp Sunshine, an 8-bit homage to slasher films, particularly Friday the 13th of the 1980s. This prequel builds to the events of that game, with the player taking control of Ada, who, for a dare, decides to spend the night in Sunshine Manor. Trapped in the haunted house, she must solve puzzles, cross between the mortal and demon realms, and keep out of reach of the ever-present Shadow Man. Featuring a vibrant 8-bit pixel art style, 80s-inspired music, a surprisingly deep story, and some genuine jump scares, Sunshine Manor is a must-play for anyone who loves an old-school survival horror experience. Pick this one up now on the PC via Steam.
Talamel is in its twilight. The sands have buried its kingdoms. Corruption unburies its subjects. From such bountiful seeds, this world has reaped only entropy, chaos, and night. And though the secrets of Talamel's ruination are entombed below the sea of sand, it's a truth that will not rest.
That's it for now from me. I'll be back with more indie goodness very soon. I'll leave you with a look at a game that was released last week on Steam in early access. Sands of Aura melds together the vast expansive worlds of Zelda games, the dungeon crawling RPG elements of Diablo, with the tough as nails stamina based combat of Dark Souls. This is definitely one to watch over the coming months. Until the next video guys, keep loving indies.